Hi, Turbo Girl. What are you writing?
I am trying to list down the uses of decimals in our daily lives.
What have you written so far?
The prices of things that I bought were in decimals. Yesterday, I was measured 1.26 meters tall, so my height is also a decimal. I know I am 27.7 kilograms, another decimal too.
That is all you have?
Yeah, you mean there is more?
Yes, such as 2.5 liters of water and 1.5 kilogram of rice.
Wow, I didn't know there were so many decimals around us.
Yes, Turbo Girl, since decimals can be found in so many aspects of our lives, it is important for us to learn more about them. Today, we're going to learn about the addition and subtraction of decimals. Before we start on something new, let me ask you a question about addition of money, which you have learned in Primary 3.
Okay.
Look at this question and show me the calculation.
I add up the cents first. 10 cents plus 80 cents gives 90 cents. Then I add up the dollars. 7 plus 3 equals $10.
Good. Now I take out the dollar signs and do it this way. I write 0 in the hundredths place, and there's nothing to add for that place value. Then I add the digits in the tenths place together. 1 plus 8 is 9. Finally, I add the digits in the ones place. 7 plus 3 is 10.
Wow, it's a different method to do addition of decimals.
The addition of decimals is just like the way we did for addition of whole numbers. Now you try one question on your own.
Firstly, I add the digits in the tens place together. 3 plus 4 is 7. Since the numbers in the ones place are all 0, there is nothing for us to add. Therefore, the final answer is 0.7.
Very good, Turbo Girl.
What if a whole number is added to a decimal, like in 27 plus 4.7?
In this case, we can first convert a whole number into a decimal by adding a decimal point and a 0. Next, we add up the digits in the tens place. 0 plus 7 is 7. Finally, I add up the whole numbers. 27 plus 4 is 31. The answer is 31.7.
Teacher, can I try something harder?
Sure. What is 8.7 plus 0.6?
I have to add the digits in the tens place first. 7 and 6 gives 13. Since 10 tens make 1 1, I need to rename 8 ones as 9 ones. Finally, add 9 and 0 to get 9. The answer is therefore 9.3.
Yes, it is, Turbo Girl. Let's try the subtraction of decimals. 0.8 minus 0.3. As usual, we have to subtract the digits in the tens place first, and that is the smallest place value in both the decimals. 8 tenths minus 3 tenths equals 5 tenths. Therefore, the answer is 0.5. You try one question, Turbo Girl.
Okay. First, I subtract 7 tenths from 9 tenths to get 2 tenths. As there are no values for ones, the answer is 0.2.
Next question. What is 18 minus 5.8?
Starting with the tenths place, I do not have any tenths to subtract 8 tenths from, so I need to take 1 1 from 8 ones and change it into 10 tenths. I rename 8 ones as 7 ones and add 10 tenths to 0 tenths. I then subtract 8 tenths from 10 tenths and I get 2 tenths. Next, I subtract the ones. I take away 5 ones from 17 ones, which is equal to 12 ones. The final answer therefore is 12.2.
One more question for you, Turbo Girl. What is 43.3 minus 3.7?
Simple. Since 3 tenths is not enough to subtract 7 tenths, I need to take 1 1 from 3 ones. 3 ones is renamed as 2 ones. Since 1 1 makes 10 tenths, I then have 10 plus 3, which is 13 tenths. With 13 tenths, I can now take away 7 tenths from it to get 6 tenths. 42 ones subtract 3 ones is 39 ones. The answer is therefore 39.6.
Now let's try some mental calculations involving decimals.
Mental calculations for decimals?
Yes, we can mentally solve certain types of addition and subtraction involving decimals. For example, 0.3 plus 0.2. By looking at it, we can easily tell that there are only tenths in both decimals. Can you tell me what is 3 plus 2?
It is 5, and 5 tenths is 0.5. The answer is 0.5.
Very good. Another example is this. 6 plus 0.2.
I know this one. I need only to write 6 in the ones place of the decimal 0.2 because there is no value there. The answer is 6.2.
What about 1.2 plus 0.9?
This is tough.
Think of it this way. 1.2 plus 0.9 equals 1.2 plus 1 minus 0.1 equals 2.2 minus 0.1 equals 2.1. Try doing this sum using mental calculations.
0.56 plus 0.99 equals 0.56 plus 1 minus 0.01 equals 1.56 minus 0.01 equals 1.55.
Well done, Turbo Girl. Let's move on to subtraction by mental calculation. I'm sure you can do that one. What is 0.9 minus 0.8?
Easy. I take 9 minus 8, which equals 1. Thus, the answer is 0.1.
Good. What about this? 3 minus 0.4.
Well, it is 3 ones minus 4 tenths. I know. I change 3 ones into 2 ones and 10 tenths and take 10 tenths to minus 4 tenths. Thus, I am left with 2 ones and 6 tenths. The answer is 2.6.
Well done. One last question. Find the difference of 5.67 and 0.9.
I know that means I have to minus 0.9 from 5.67. As 0.9 is equal to 1 minus 0.1, I can subtract 1 from 5.67 first to get 4.67. Then, I add back 0.1 to 4.67 and I get 4.77.
Brilliant girl. After you have learned how to add and subtract up to 1 decimal place, we're now going to learn the same up to 2 decimal places. Can you try the first question, Turbo Girl? Tell me how you add them up.
I add up the numbers in the hundreds place first. 2 plus 4 is 6. Then, I add up the tens. 1 plus 0 is 1. Finally, the ones, which is 0. So the answer is 0.16.
Good, Turbo Girl. Here's another question for you.
Add up the hundreds to get 16 hundredths. Since 10 hundredths is 1 tenth, I must carry 1 over to the tens. I rename the 4 tenths as 5 tenths. Now I add up the tenths to get 5 tenths and lastly 2 ones plus 1 1. The answer is 3.56.
Good. We shall move on to the subtraction of decimals up to 2 places.
Subtract 6 hundredths from 9 hundredths to get 3 hundredths, and finally take away 1 tenth from 5 tenths to get 4 tenths. The answer is 0.43.
Now try a question where you need to do renaming.
Since 6 hundredths are not enough to minus 7 hundredths, I need to borrow a tenth from 2 tenths. I rename 2 tenths as 1 tenth and 6 hundredths as 16 hundredths. I take 16 minus 7 to get 9. Because 1 tenth is not enough to minus 5 tenths, we got to take 1 one from 6 ones. I rename 6 ones as 5 ones and 1 tenth as 11 tenths. 11 minus 5 equals 6. Finally, 5 ones minus 3 ones to give 2 ones. The answer is 2.69.
Yes, you're correct, Turbo Girl. After learning all about addition and subtraction of decimals, it is time to learn how to use them in problem solving.
Like in word problems? Wow, I like word problems.
Yes, Turbo Girl, why don't you try to solve the next problem? Muthu is 1.35 meters tall. Chunbeng is 0.23 meters taller than Muthu. What is their total height? Here is a model to help you solve the problem.
I have to first find what is Chunbing's height. Since Chunbing is taller than Muthu by 0.23 meters, I have to add 0.23 meters and 1.35 meters. So Chunbing's height is 1.58 meters.
Yes, you can now find their total height.
That is simple. I just need to add up the heights of both boys. 1.35 meters plus 1.58 meters equals 2.93 meters. The total height of the boys is 2.93 meters.
Good, let's try another problem.
Mrs. Lee used 0.75 kilograms of flour to bake a cake. She used 0.2 kilograms less flour to bake some cookies. If she has 0.7 kilograms of flour left, how much flour did she have at first? This problem is more difficult to solve. I know that the amount of flour used plus the amount of flour left is equal to the amount of flour she had at first. First, I have to find out how much flour was used to bake the cookies. I will have to draw a model to guide me. As less flour is used to bake the cookies than the cake, I have to take 0.75 kilograms minus 0.2 kilograms. 0.75 minus 0.2 equals 0.55. 0.55 kilograms of flour was used to bake the cookies. Next, I have to find the total amount of flour used. 0.75 plus 0.55 equals 1.30. 1.3 kilograms of flour was used in all. Finally, I have to add up the amount of flour used and the amount of flour left. 1.3 plus 0.7 equals 2.0. Mrs. Lee had 2 kilograms of flour at first.
Splendid work, Turbo Girl. I'm glad that you have put into practice what you've learned so far. Are you able to sum up what we've learned today, Turbo Girl?
I'll try. First, I have learnt about the addition and subtraction of decimals up to 1 decimal place. I can add decimals like the way I add whole numbers. I simply add the digits of the decimals in the corresponding places from right to left. Next, I have learnt how to do mental calculations for addition and subtraction of decimals.
Go on, Turbo Girl.
I have also learnt how to add and subtract decimals up to 2 decimal places, as well as apply what I have learnt in solving word problems.
Glad to know that you can remember all of them. Now, with your new knowledge, I think you can solve your problem much easier, Turbo Girl.
Yes, I almost forgot. I have to calculate the amount of money I need for the bicycle. Thanks a lot.